Okay, so today we're going deep on something pretty fascinating. We're diving into some stuff that you, our listeners, sent our way.
Yeah, a whole set of sources about reimagining consumerism. Like, how do we buy things in a way that's actually good for the planet?
Right. And the whole thing really centers around this guy, Stewart Irvine, and his vision. We've got articles here about his whole career
His platform, Merch UX, that's a big one.
and like all these other initiatives he's involved with.
So if you've ever wondered if all this fancy technology, blockchain, AI, you name it, can actually help us shop more ethically and help the environment, you're going to want to stick around. You don't have to go read all these articles yourself.
Because we did it for ya.
Exactly.
So Stewart Irvine, this guy's been in the tech world forever, like 3 decades.
Yeah, a real veteran.
But he's also super passionate about, empowering people
Right.
and the planet.
Right, not just building the next cool gadget.
Yeah, exactly. So Merch UX, which we're going to dig into a lot today, it's his big project. And it's not just like another software platform.
No, it's way more ambitious than that.
It's like his big attempt to bake transparency and ethics and real sustainability into how we buy and sell stuff every single day.
And he wants to use all the latest tech to do it.
Yeah, we're talking cutting edge.
But it's important to remember that his vision goes beyond just, buying stuff. He also started this thing called the E² Foundation,
Which is all about what?
preserving biodiversity, basically protecting all the different kinds of life on Earth. And they're huge on promoting environmental stewardship. Their big goal is to create a regenerative economy.
So an economy that actually helps heal the planet.
Exactly, not just one that does a little less damage. And then there's Earthwave SOS, which is a totally unique project.
What is that one?
It's a way for people all over the world to use their smartphones to basically declare that climate change is a global emergency.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
So that's our mission today. We're going to break down Stewart Irvine's vision and all the cool things he's doing to encourage people to shop more consciously and take real action to help the environment. We want to give you the key takeaways, the really important nuggets. So by the end of this, you'll have a solid grasp on what this guy's all about and why it matters.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's rewind a bit. Let's look at how Stewart Irvine even got to this point in his career.
Yeah, his career path is fascinating. You can see this consistent focus on using tech to improve how brands and consumers connect with each other.
Okay.
Even in his early work, he was already into things like user-generated content and branding strategies, which, makes sense if you think about how Merch UX works. It's all about building a community to drive those sustainable choices.
Yeah, that totally tracks. And he wasn't just like writing about these ideas, right?
No, not at all. He founded this company, Next Technology Developments, which really showed that he was serious about changing how businesses interact with their customers. He wasn't just playing around, he was going for it.
So he's been a doer from the start.
Totally. And there's this really good example, LifeWell 360. It's a life sciences company he started, and they created this AI-powered tool that analyzes students' voices to understand their mental health.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can see he's been interested in using technology to improve people's lives for a while now. Applying that same thinking to sustainability just makes sense.
So he's got this background in tech and this passion for the environment. And I mean, people describe him as like a trailblazing tech pioneer with a 30-year career and also a climate advocate, right?
That's a powerful combination. I mean, it seems crucial to what he's trying to build.
Totally. So
Yeah.
how does all that tech expertise actually come into play when we're talking about sustainability? That's where Merch UX gets really interesting.
Right, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, so Merch UX, it's basically trying to revolutionize how we buy things. Like, make each purchase a force for good, for the planet. They use these terms dynamism, transparency, ethical considerations. It's about making smarter choices, not just buying more and more stuff.
Absolutely. And it's amazing to see all the cutting-edge technology they're using. Blockchain, AI, machine learning, even augmented reality, and these super high-tech QR codes that can't be faked.
Wait, so it's not just for techies?
No, not at all. All this tech is being used specifically to make things more sustainable. It's about the outcome, not just the bells and whistles.
So can we talk about some of those technologies specifically, like the blockchain and the QR codes? How do they make things more transparent?
Well, imagine you're holding a product. You scan the QR code and boom, you can see its entire journey. Where the raw materials came from, how it was made, if it was produced ethically, and all its sustainability credentials. It's all right there.
So no more greenwashing.
Exactly. It's way harder to fake things when you've got blockchain involved because everything is recorded on this permanent, unchangeable ledger. And the QR code is like your window into that information. Plus, they're using AI and machine learning to personalize your shopping experience. So instead of seeing generic sustainable labels, you get recommendations based on your values and what you actually care about.
So it's like personalized sustainability coaching.
Pretty much.
That's so cool. And they're trying to make sustainability information easier to understand, right? Like no more confusing labels or greenwashing,
Yeah, they want to cut through all the noise, so they're highlighting those eco labels and using things like user reviews so you can see what other people think.
like social proof.
Exactly. Simplifying that information is super important because most people are just bombarded with all these environmental claims that are often confusing or contradictory. It can be overwhelming.
So, okay, besides knowing where a product comes from, what else does Merch UX actually do? Like, what are its features?
Well, there's this thing called dynamic product verification, which basically means you can be sure you're not buying a fake. We talked about the AI-driven personalization, but they also have this really interesting reward system, which encourages people to make sustainable choices.
Okay, so it rewards you for making good choices.
Yeah, and they're even exploring AR and VR shopping, so you can have this immersive experience. Plus, their goal is to create a global marketplace connecting ethical brands with conscious consumers all over the world.
So it's like a global community of sustainability. And you mentioned a reward system. Can we dig into that a bit? It sounds like more than just getting discounts, right?
Right, it's way more interactive. Think of it like a game. You earn rewards for promoting brands you believe in, for sharing your sustainable purchases on social media, stuff like that.
So kind of social, too.
Absolutely. And the more sustainable choices you make, the more benefits you get. It keeps you engaged and coming back for more.
It's like a positive feedback loop.
Hmm.
And what about those Earth Today Yuan rewards? They sound kind of different.
Oh, they're really cool. Every time you buy something, you unlock a measurable area of protected nature.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, so it's not just about how much the product cost, it's about the positive environmental impact you're having. That emotional connection, as they call it, can be a huge motivator for people. And remember how we talked about the QR codes and transparency? Well, that helps justify if a sustainable product costs a bit more. You can actually see why it's priced that way.
So you're not just buying a product, you're contributing to something much bigger.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Merch UX, but we also have to talk about the E² Foundation and Earthwave SOS. Those are some of Stewart Irvine's other big projects.
Right. So the E² Foundation came about because Irvine realized that a lot of great ideas in sustainability and conservation weren't getting the attention or support they deserved.
Okay.
So he created the foundation as a platform to empower the next generation of changemakers in those fields.
So it's about supporting innovation and giving a voice to the people who are actively trying to build a better future. Exactly. Their mission is to preserve global biodiversity and promote environmental stewardship, but they have this much bigger vision, a regenerative economy where commerce actively helps heal the planet.
That's such a cool concept, not just doing less harm, but actually reversing the damage we've done. And their mission is to make that happen by working at the intersection of commerce, technology, and conservation through innovative models and partnerships.
Which brings us to Earthwave SOS. This is such a creative way to get people talking about the urgency of climate change. It lets everyday citizens declare a global emergency.
And they do this through their smartphones. How does that even work?
It's all based on a mobile app that uses your phone's motion sensors. When enough people wave their phones in a synchronized way, it triggers an SOS signal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the phone's light and screen start flashing in Morse code. Imagine that, a huge, coordinated visual signal that policymakers can't ignore.
So it's like amplifying individual voices into this powerful collective statement. And it sounds like they're using blockchain technology to make sure the data is secure and transparent.
Right. And the potential impact is huge. With climate change becoming more and more visible, global temperatures rising, glaciers melting, sea levels rising, this kind of unified visual statement could really push for real change.
And it's not just about raising awareness, right? It sounds like they've built in ways to fundraise for environmental causes and even sign petitions electronically just by waving your phone.
Exactly. And it creates this amazing sense of community among activists. It makes it easier for people to connect and take action together.
So Irvine's not just building platforms, he's building a movement. And he clearly understands that for something this big to work, you need support from all sides, right?
Definitely. He's been busy building a coalition of business leaders, influencers, and of course, conscious consumers. And the fact that so many business leaders are finally taking sustainability seriously means there's real potential for change.
Yeah, people are starting to wake up.
Mm.
And having celebrities and other influential figures on board definitely helps spread the word and make a bigger impact.
Totally. It's all about reaching a wider audience. But it's important to remember that merch UX isn't the only player in the game. There's this whole ecosystem of conscious consumerism out there. We've got platforms like Good on You, which rates brands on their ethical practices,
Okay.
and Project CC, which is like a search engine just for ethical fashion. So there are already tools that help people make more informed and ethical choices.
So how does Merch UX fit into all of this? What makes it unique?
I think it comes down to two things. First, they're really pushing the boundaries with technology. The blockchain, the AI, all of that is cutting edge. And second, they've created this direct link between what you buy and a tangible positive impact on the environment, like protecting those nature areas. That's a much more powerful connection than just knowing a brand is ethical.
So you're not just supporting a brand, you're actually making a difference.
Exactly. And it seems like Merch UX and the E Squared Foundation are well positioned to be major players in the global movement towards sustainable consumption. They're working alongside governments, industries, and community groups, all pushing for the same thing.
It's like a wave of change that's building momentum.
It really is. But with any big, ambitious vision, there are going to be challenges.
For sure. Like, how do you convince people to actually change their buying habits? Even if they care about the environment, that whole attitude-action gap is a big one. How does a Merch UX try to address that?
By showing people the real, concrete impact of their choices. Those Earth Day rewards are a great example. You buy something, you protect a piece of nature. It's that simple. And the blockchain technology makes it all transparent and trustworthy. But another challenge is making sure the data is accurate and preventing greenwashing, especially with these complex global supply chains. Blockchain helps with that too, because it creates a permanent tamper-proof record.
Right, it's hard to fake it with blockchain. But let's be honest, a lot of times people just choose the cheapest or most convenient option, even if it's not the most sustainable.
That's true. And that's where the gamification and the personalized rewards come in. By making sustainable choices more fun and rewarding, they hope to change people's priorities.
And it's like they're trying to make sustainability cool.
In a way, yeah. But the good news is that the market for conscious consumerism is growing, especially among younger generations. That's a huge opportunity for Merch UX.
Totally. And Merch UX's focus on making sustainability information clear and easy to understand, plus using blockchain for verification, helps build trust and overcome some of the skepticism that people have.
Absolutely. By bridging that attitude-action gap and making the impact of your choices feel real, they're making sustainable shopping much more appealing. And don't forget about the product verification aspect. That helps fight counterfeit goods, which is a huge problem.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Totally. And with the growing global focus on sustainability and corporate social responsibility, it feels like the world is finally becoming more receptive to these kinds of ideas.
Like the stage is set for real change.
Exactly. It's the perfect environment for building a global community around conscious consumerism.
So what do the experts think about this whole idea of using purchases to drive positive environmental impact? Is it feasible?
Well, research shows that people are increasingly willing to pay more for products that are truly sustainable and come from ethical companies. That's good news for Merch UX.
Yeah, people actually care about this stuff.
They do. But the experts also warn about greenwashing. They say transparency and credibility are absolutely crucial. And that's something Much UX is taking very seriously with its technology.
So it's not enough to just say you're sustainable, you have to prove it.
Exactly. And when you look at different models of sustainable consumption, it becomes clear that it's not just about what people say they want to do. It's much more complex than that. It's about their awareness, their attitudes, and the incentives they're given.
So it's about understanding human behavior, not just making assumptions.
Right. So Merch UX has to really think about how to engage people and encourage long-term changes in behavior. And when it comes to actually linking purchases to tangible environmental outcomes, the experts say it's crucial to do thorough market research, make sure the technology is solid, ensure the whole thing is financially sustainable, and of course, carefully assess the real environmental impact.
That makes sense. But it must be super hard to calculate the full environmental impact of every single product.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly complex.
Yeah.
But that's why Merch UX's focus on those clear, concrete outcomes, like those protected nature areas, is so smart. It makes it much easier for people to see the difference they're making.
It's like a direct connection between your purchase and a positive impact on the planet.
Precisely.
So the experts seem to be saying that the market is ready for solutions that empower sustainable consumerism, but they have to be transparent, trustworthy, and engaging.
Exactly. The desire is there, but companies need to provide the right tools and build that trust.
So to wrap things up, Stewart Irvine's vision is really bold. It's about completely reimagining how we consume things and making sure our choices actually help protect the environment.
Absolutely. And Merch UX, with its cutting-edge technology like blockchain and AI, could be a game changer. It has the potential to bring transparency, ethics, and genuine sustainability to the forefront of how we buy and sell things.
And those Earth Today rewards are such a cool way to bridge the gap between wanting to do good and actually seeing the tangible impact of your choices.
They make it personal and emotional.
Yeah, and we can't forget Earthwave SOS. It's such a creative way to bring people together and demand action on climate change.
It's about using technology to amplify our voices and push for real solutions.
So even though there are definitely challenges ahead, like that attitude-action gap and the complexity of global supply chains, it feels like the momentum is shifting. Consumers want more sustainable options, and the world is starting to prioritize environmental responsibility.
The conditions are right for these innovative ideas to flourish.
Platforms like Merch UX, the work of the E Squared Foundation, and initiatives like Earthwave SOS, they're all pointing towards a new era of consumerism, where every purchase, every action can contribute to a healthier planet. It's the kind of future Stewart Irvine envisions.
It's a future we can all be a part of. So, listener, here's something to think about. How could you change your own buying habits to have a more direct and measurable impact on the environment?
What small step could you take today to make a difference?
It's up to all of us to build a more sustainable future.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.